Hi everyone, Larry Bailey here with Mastering Encompass, bringing you another weekly market update. This one is from the week of December 30th, 2024. It's actually the very last update from 2024 that we have. This one's all about pending home sales and home prices rising. There were a lot of updates on this, and home price appreciation and unemployment claims during this otherwise quiet week, where the markets were, of course, closed for New Year's Day. Here's the stories we're going to be going through. Pending home sales rise for a fourth straight month. Another record high for home prices. Unemployment filings likely skewed by the holidays. We've got a family hack of the week recipe in there for you. And then we're going to talk about what to look for this week coming up, first week of January. So let's get into the pending home sales, where they are actually rising for the fourth straight month. Now, the story here comes from the information all about signed contracts on existing homes. So they rose 2.2% from October to November per the National Association of Realtors, that's NAR. The index reached its highest level since February 2023, as sales were also up 6.9%, higher than they were a year earlier. Bottom line here is NAR's chief economist, who we hear from a lot on this, his name is Lawrence Yun. He noted that, quote, consumers appeared to have recalibrated expectations regarding mortgage rates and are taking advantage of more inventory, close quote. Yun added that, quote, mortgage rates have averaged above 6% for the last 24 months. Buyers are no longer waiting or expecting mortgage rates to fall substantially. Furthermore, buyers are in a better position to negotiate as markets shift away from the seller's market, close quote. All right, now I'm going to give you a little personal perspective. Finally, people are actually realizing that you can't keep waiting for free money, and you can't keep waiting for a deal that isn't there. I've been saying this pretty much my whole life. My dad was in real estate. I grew up in real estate as a personal level, not as a professional. I did get my realtor's license once. Never sold a single house, never took a single listing. Wasn't for me. I preferred mortgage side and technology side myself. But the point is that when I do invest in real estate personally, I take the deal as it stands right there, because that's the way you do business. For folks that can't afford a home, that's a totally different story, right? If you can't afford it because rates are too high, then the only other thing that can happen is you find a home price that you can afford, or you figure out some type of clever way to get your finances together. So hopefully we will see more and more folks negotiating with sellers. There is more inventory coming on in markets. Depends on what part of the country you're in, of course, and there'll be more to talk about that as we get into 2025, because certain markets are actually seeing price drops more significantly than other parts of the country. So hang in there if you're the type of person that's out there looking for a home, or if you've got family looking for a home. I'm always going to suggest that you look at homes that need to be rehabilitated. FHA's got a phenomenal product called the 203K. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have their complement to that type of rehabilitation product. It's always easier if you can do the work yourself, or someone in your family can do the work, because usually it's a little bit cheaper than having to hire a third party. But regardless, there are homes out there that are on the market, and they've been on the market now for over 60 days. Check them out, take a peek, and be aware. What goes up must come down eventually. That's what they say, at least. Let's get into this next story. This one is another record high for home prices. So this information is coming to you. You can see on the graph here online from Case-Shiller, the home price index. And by the way, if you're listening to this on podcast, thank you very much. If you'd like to see the full video here, we actually do share this on screen. You can check it out over at our YouTube channel at Mastering Encompass, or you can check it out on our brand new community using masterencompass.com. It's free to join. It is geared towards those that use Encompass or administer Encompass. It is really a phenomenal community that I'm very proud to promote. So this story is all about the Case-Shiller Home Price Index, which is considered the, quote, gold standard for appreciation. It showed home prices nationwide rose 0.3% from September to October after seasonal adjustments, breaking the previous month's all-time high. Home values in October were also 3.6% higher than a year earlier, following a 3.9% gain in September. The Case-Shiller 10 City, that's up 4.8% year over year, and the 20 City Index is up 4.2% year over year. These indices reported even higher growth than the national figure, showing that big cities are outperforming the rest of the nation. And I don't know, and this is my own personal commentary, it's where the jobs are, right? I mean, if you can have a job that pays you more and you need housing, you'll pay more for housing. So therefore, things go up. Again, purely unscientific approach, purely just personal observation, but probably true. To continue the story here, the Federal Housing Finance Agency, that's known as the FHFA, that house price index also showed home prices rose seasonally adjusted 0.4% higher from September to October, and they were 4.5% higher when compared to the same time last year. The FHFA's index differs from Case-Shiller's because it does not include cash buyers or jumbo loans. The FHFA index only includes loans that were financed through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac with conforming mortgages. Now, I've been saying this for a while, conforming mortgages with limits that can go up to $1 million, right? So in some areas, and it's certainly up to at least 800,000. So it's not like we're talking cheapo homes here. This is a pretty broad swath. So the fact that the FHFA and the Case-Shiller index, I expect that they're going to be parity. They're going to be pretty much in line moving into the future just because there's so many homes that are FHFA eligible as compared to Case-Shiller. Bottom line in the story is home prices are continuing to appreciate, and though the pace has been moderating, home ownership continues to provide a significant wealth creation opportunity. In fact, the S&P's DJI's head of commodities, that's Brian D. Luke, noted that Case-Shiller's national index, quote, hit its seventh consecutive all-time high, close quote, while Dr. Anju Vaja, deputy director at FHFA, explained that, quote, home prices continue to grow at a steady rate, close quote. All right, let's get into this next story. Unemployment filings likely skewed by holidays. The initial jobless claims fell by 9,000 in the latest week, with 211,000 people filing for unemployment benefits for the very first time. Continuing claims also dropped by 52,000, as 1.844 million people are still receiving benefits after filing their initial claim. Bottom line here in this story is while initial jobless claims fell to their lowest level since April, the measured week includes Christmas. And of course, this could have impacted the data as people often put off filing if they're traveling or busy for the holidays, because some of these, in case you didn't know this, for some of these unemployment, they do it by IP location. So they actually track where you are. And if you're not in your home area and you're filing for unemployment, you can get dinged. So that's what this is really talking about. I don't know if you know that or not, but that's what's going on. So continuing claims measured the prior week just before Christmas, so they may have been less impacted by the holiday. However, they have now topped 1.8 million since the start of June, which is 30 consecutive weeks. This elevated number suggests people are collecting benefits for longer periods of time as new job opportunities have become harder to find. It'll also be interesting because a lot of states cap at 26 weeks. So I guess there's some states, COVID benefits, some extended out to 52 weeks. I don't know if some states continued that, but that number, 30 consecutive weeks, is over at 1.8 million. Is just crazy. So hopefully people will find work soon. Here we're at the family hack of the week. Gang, it's National Soup Month, and it's just in time because today, January 6th, it's snowing in a lot of parts of the country. I'm in New Jersey, and it's snowing outside my window right now, and soup is always good. So this recipe is a garden vegetable soup, courtesy of the Food Network. If you are seeing this on screen because you're watching on video, either at masteringeencompass.com or on our YouTube channel, Mastering Encompass, you can check out the recipe there. It yields 6 to 8 servings. Check it out. Let me know how it goes. Continuing on, here's what we're looking for this week. We've got the first full week of January. It kicks off with a full slate of labor sector reports. We're going to look for updates on job openings for Tuesday, private payrolls Wednesday, unemployment claims Thursday, and non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate Friday. It's going to be a full week. Just to give you an idea what's going on with the candlesticks here. Last week when we were at December 30th, if we can get over there, we saw some pretty good movement into the green. We've seen it kind of flat, right? So markets, I think, are figuring things out. I think bond markets, in case you didn't realize this, but bond markets have been hedging in for some inflationary concerns, also for the lack of decision from the Fed to continue to lower interest rates on the short term. So there's a lot of uncertainty right now, which is why this money is kind of flat. So what that's going to mean for mortgage rates typically, and at least in the near term, is they're going to be they're going to stay as expensive as they are, and they might even get more expensive. Money might get more expensive here in the very short term. As I've always said, just like I said in the story earlier, if you come across a deal, take it. Take the deal. If you can afford it, you can close. Take the deal. You can always come back to the decision afterwards. What you don't want to do is wait and hope, and then you lose what you need. So that's my advice. I'm sticking to it. That's what I offer. My name's Larry Bailey. Thank you very much for listening. Visit masteringcompass.com for more information. We'll see you there. Bye-bye now.